G'day YouTube, Rob again, bringing you another video. Today I'm doing a sort of contest entry slash shout out to Travis. His channel name is 08yodert's, I think that's how you pronounce it. Hope that's right. He's running a competition at the moment. He's nearly 100 subs competition. I think he's got 101 at the moment. I think I just sort of checked. Really great YouTuber. I think I've only been subscribed to him perhaps for a few months, but he's, I just watched it, a few videos, and they're, really good videos. He does like, top 10s and, movie, DVD and Blu-ray updates, and, so it shows off his collection. So he's got movies, and he's got, his CD collection, his music collection, books, and, does like, weekly watches as well, sort of, sort of what he's been watching recently, type thing, just does a review of that type of things. He does a variety of stuff there. Good YouTuber. He always leaves me comments on my videos, always, watches them and leaves great comments, and he gave me a shout out the other day, which is really nice of him. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for that, man. Some really, really sort of kind words. I was going to do, I've been, well, for a few weeks I've been planning to do a shout out. He was actually on my list to do there, but this will be my shout out to him. So all that normal stuff. If you're not, not subbed to him, definitely recommend going to his channel and subbing him, giving him a sub. So he asked sort of 3 questions in his contest. I think you can win. He's giving away some of the new, pretty sure the Universal steelbooks with a great sort of selection there of ones to choose from. The 3 questions. The first question was, what's your favourite movie? Obviously that's a bit of a hard question. I can't sort of answer that one. And when people ask these questions, I normally try and come up with a different answer each time, because obviously there's just so many sort of great movies out there. I thought I might perhaps just talk about the film Alien. Ridley Scott's Alien, which came out in 1979. I think that's got to be perhaps one of at least my top 5 sort of favourite movies of all time. I really do just really sort of enjoy that movie. I think it's just a great science fiction movie. Just really sort of, in some ways, very sort of pure science fiction, I think. Very sort of realistic, This sort of proves that we don't need to necessarily have, big sort of epic laser battles in deep space and have a lot of weird creatures and have all this sort of fancy technology with, flashing lights and touch screens and all this sort of stuff. Because you've got, in Alien, it's very much a sort of a realistic, in some ways, sort of realistic storyline. You've got this big sort of clunky ship that, hardly works. Things don't work in it, and you've got these sort of everyday, in some ways, very boring sort of characters, I suppose, just, going about their, day-to-day lives on this ship, type thing. I'm pretty sure it's a big sort of, they get very bored, I think, because there's not all that much to do, type thing, and it's just, sort of just, doing their thing, and then all of a sudden they sort of come across, this sort of alien creature, and it's something, something they've never sort of seen before, and just, totally new experience, I think, for them, and for us, also for us as a viewer too, I think. I just love the way it's sort of shot. I love the cinematography to it, and some great sort of camera angles, and great use of sort of suspense, and it's very sort of horror sort of aspect to it. It's very sort of, in some ways, a very sort of slow burning movie. It sort of builds up to this sort of conclusion type thing. So that's probably one of my, at least as I said before, at least one of my top 5 movies of all time. I think it's just a fantastic film, and I think just very well done by Ridley Scott. It's my favourite movie. Next question was, name your favourite director. That's another sort of hard question. I can't necessarily just pick one. You've got Spielberg. He's probably the one that most people sort of talk about. Deservedly right. I think he's made some absolutely fantastic movies, and great movies. Indiana Jones and E.T. and Encounters of the Third Kind. Great movies. Obviously, James Cameron. He did the Aliens movie, and what else did he do? You know, the Abyss movie, which I'm a bit of a fan of, and you know, the Terminator movies as well. It's a great, you know, sort of science fiction director there. Then you've also got, also I'm just thinking now, David Fincher. He's made some epic, you know, really good movies. Alien 3. You know, the what's he made? You know, Fight Club, movie that I really do like. Bit overhyped maybe, as Trevor said, I think was. What else has he made? Yeah, I don't know. Just anyway, he's a really good director. He made some really good movies. Also, I don't know, if you want to get a bit more obscure, perhaps get away perhaps from the American directors. I sort of said before, I'm a bit of a fan of foreign cinema, especially sort of French cinema, and so you got Luc Besson. He did like films like he's probably most famous for the Fifth Element. He's done like Akita. It's a really good movie, and he did like Leon the Professional. That's another one of my perhaps favourite movies of all time. I really do enjoy that movie. He's made some really good movies. We also got the one Jean-Pierre Renoir. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's done like Amelie, starring Audrey Tautou. I'm a big sort of fan of Audrey Tautou. And also another film he did, The Longest Engagement. That's another great sort of a war romancy type movie. Should definitely check out, I think. Yeah, definitely great movies as well. I probably should have made a list perhaps. But anyway, so there's some directors that I really do like. So question 3, what's your favourite decade in film history? Another hard question to answer. I mean, most people choose between probably 70s, 80s, or 90s, but I mean it can go doesn't necessarily need to be in that, does it? It can be your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. etc., up to the the recent 2000s type movies. I mean, you mentioned 1960. They mentioned Cool Hand Luke, which I think is another one of my favourite movies. I think they've only just sort of recently discovered. I think perhaps in the probably a year or two. I think first time I watched it. It's a really good movie. I can't perhaps explain necessarily why I like that movie so much. I think I just sort of like the characters in it and the environment, and great sort of film to watch. I think especially love perhaps my favourite scene that would have to be sort of the scene when his mother sort of comes to visit him when he's sort of in jail type thing. I just really like that scene. I'll perhaps explain why I like it so much. I don't know. But I just really like that scene. It's just it's sort of goes to show that it's a very sort of realistic scene. I mean, it sort of proves that not necessarily everyone, grows up and, gets married and has kids and, sort of lives happy ever after. I mean, his mum sort of comes to visit him and sort of talk about how they've got, some way, especially, nothing to talk about type thing. They're sort of, you sort of get the impression that they must have been fairly close. Perhaps when he was a boy, he's, to his mum, they used to, be fairly close. But now he's sort of grown up and, being a man, he doesn't necessarily, see his mum as much, and his life didn't sort of turn out the way that, perhaps that she would have thought it would have had. He didn't sort of, get married and have kids, and she sort of says, she thought, by now she would have a few grandkids, type thing, and they sort of talk about, where his life's, got to, what sort of happened to his life, type thing, and. I mean, it's a very, it's only like a 10-minute scene, and they sort of talk, sort of pretty much, it's dialogue through that entire scene. And I mean, it's sort of a scene that they could have made for half an hour. It still wouldn't have been enough. You still kind of want more from that conversation to, want them to talk more about, what happened, type thing to his life, type thing. I think she's, really great fan. I perhaps can't explain. Why I like it, so much, but it's just really good, a great movie. Then you also got, I don't know, 70s. I mean, there's great movies in that as well. Star Wars movies and Godfather movies, and I don't know, just you know, some of the, you know, movies that, you know, Al Pacino did, and or, you know, sort of, you know, Taxi Driver, and I should have made a list, shouldn't I, of movies, but anyway, there's some great movies in the 70s as well. I think probably, I don't know, probably the 80s would probably have to be my favourite. I had to sort of choose a, you know, a decade in film history. Most because I was sort of growing up sort of around that time, and I just think some, you know, fantastic movies came out. A lot of great sort of, just, yeah, great sort of action movies. You had, like, you know, the Stallone movies and the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and you had, you know, great, you know, science fiction movies. You know, the Aliens and Predator, and, you know, Total Recall, and you know, Blade Runner, and so, you know, action movies. Then you had, like, you know, so, you know, comedy movies. You had, like, you know, John Hughes films. You know, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the Breakfast Club, and all the, you know, all the films that he sort of made. He's got, you know, horror movies as well. There's great sort of horror movies in that period as well, and also animated movies. I'm a big fan of animation, especially in the 80s. I think that's probably the great decade for animation. You know, like, you know, some of the films, like, you know, Ralph Bakshi did a lot of sort of weird, strange sort of movies, you know, out there. You know, like, you know, American Pulp, and, you know, Fresh the Cat, and Heavy Traffic, and Fire and Ice, and yeah, they did like an animation version of the Lord of the Rings as well, which I think is a really good movie. Great sort of visuals in that movie, I think. And also probably, you know, Heavy Metal. That's probably my favourite sort of animated movies of all time. Just, yeah, great sort of decade for everything, you know, for, like, you know, action and horror and animation and comedies, and, yeah, great time in history. Then you got, you know, obviously 90s as well, and the 2000s, so I don't want to go on too much. But it's all great, you know, every decade I think it's got, you know, fantastic, you know, movies in it. Anyway, so that's, I don't want to make this huge, long video, I don't want to bore you too much. That's sort of my answers to the 3 questions. Thanks to Travis for, you know, running the competition. Hope he gets a lot more responses. I think he's only had 3. Well, this will be the 4th one now, I think, so far. But great, yeah, for a great YouTuber. Definitely go and check out his channel. Give him a sub if you want to, type thing. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye.